In this video, I'll be talking about buying a used PC on eBay. I got started on this idea from a video by Tech Deals, which I'll link to below, and I wound up buying a OptiPlex 9020. For my use case, which is indie video game development, I need to be able to program and compile quickly, which is something that should be pretty easy. I'm using Godot, which is a very lightweight game engine, and I'm making simple 2D games, so that's not such a big deal. But I also need to be able to do things like edit and render YouTube videos like this one, and quickly capture gameplay video of those kind of 2D games and do stuff with it. So that's what got me started on this. I needed an inexpensive way to get into being able to do those things. So from that video, I came up with some of my own ideas, and that's what I'm going to share here. The first one is pick a model to learn so that you know really the details of what you're talking about. I picked the Dell OptiPlex based on that video. It's a quality standard. Dell makes a certain type of machine a certain way, and they do it very consistently. And there's lots of info about eBay, about choosing which one to get, about the specs of them, about upgrading them. So it's very easy to then do things from there. And so the first suggestion is learn the specifics of what you want to do. For me, the 9020 was a sweet spot. 7020 can be okay. These machines are about 5 to 7 years old now, so they're coming up off corporate leases and stuff like that. For instance, mine, looking at the service tag on it, I can look it up on Dell, see that it shipped in July of 2015, so it's a little bit over 5 years old now, and you know, all that. Lesser machines for me were the 3020 because it doesn't have as many USB ports and stuff. A step up would be a 5040 or 3040. But for my purposes, a 4th generation CPU and the 6th generation CPUs, there isn't that much of a speed difference, and it's not likely to be significant for what I'm doing. That's what's important. i7 machines are probably faster and better, and if you're buying one in a used machine as is, they don't cost much more than i5s. I happen to get a deal on mine. I'm happy enough with an i5. These things also seem to pretty much keep their value because they're used, you know, their value has already gone down near as low as it's going to go. If I was not so sentimental, I could probably take this one I got, resell it for roughly what I paid for it to put that towards the next machine that I move up to. So certainly people can do that. See the Wikipedia OptiPlex page, which I'll also link below for more info on the models and years. A good thing to note is that Dell has a mainstream and high tier line, but when you're buying a used machine, the difference in price between the one and the other is probably minimal. So that's why I chose looking for the 9020. Why not? Look for sellers on eBay that have lots of feedback, near 100% positive. And there are tons that are 100% positive with thousands of sales, especially ones with a lot of the same PC for sale, because that probably came as a lot from a big corporate environment. And, you know, I'm going to presume they go through these, they pick the ones that are really messed up. You know, someone kicked it or threw it down the stairs or something, and they get rid of those. And that's part of their cost of doing business, that they're trying to just get the best of that crop and resell it as quickly and easily as possible. And so I want someone as a seller that takes in tons of computers, cleans them up, and resells them, and they have a system and a process for doing that as a business, so that they just knock it out and do it and generally please the customers. Looking at those, there seem to be some sellers that offer like a choose your own configuration, so you can get it with different amounts of memory in that. I have yet to see one that was a listing that came in at a good price for that. So you get to choose components, but you're paying for it in terms of convenience, as opposed to a seller that got in from some company. They got 20 of these systems. They all have the same specs, and they're just turning them around and selling them. And that seems to be the cheapest way to find some good equipment. One thing that just, I'm old, and this is a thing I believe, all hard drives fail, and you lose everything on them. And just expect that. That's life. Data recovery is crazy expensive, so don't expect you're ever going to do it. So with that said, I look for things with an SSD. They're faster while they work. hopefully you run some sort of regular backup or daily backup or something like OneDrive that's backing up as you're using stuff. Back up in a regular way as redundantly as possible, and expect it to fail, and you'll replace it. I don't know what else to say. I've lost so many hard drives worth of so many amazing things. I use HD Sentinel all the time, and I expect I'll be replacing the hard drives. For my game dev, I don't do 3D or anything, so I don't need to add a video card. It might be nice. I'll have to see what that does. I got a small form factor PC, so your video card options are limited. It's nice. It fits on my desk, and it's cute. And again, like I said, it can be turned around later on if I have more money and I'm doing something else and I need a better system. So that's that. If you are actually gaming, 3D gaming, or doing something like that, you might want to get a tower or mini tower instead so that you can put in a real video card. I was just looking to be as inexpensive as possible and get into the things that I need to use it for. Watch for the return policy on sellers. Some even offer things like free return shipping. Some offer longer warranties. You know, the ones that are really making a business of it are trying to be competitive, and so you should look for that. When I'm looking on eBay, I only look at buy it now. I'm not looking to get caught up in an auction and get all passionate about one thing. I'm looking for a seller who's selling a thing, or hopefully a bunch of the things, so that I know they got even more than a bunch, and they're just doing it at a fair price, get it done, get the thing I want. Watch for things in the description you don't understand. Ask the sellers about them. Like if you see the letter C all by itself somewhere, it means it's probably a C grade computer, which means it has some flaws, which may not matter to you, or may, but ask the seller if you don't know what it is. It seems that there's a lot of little letters that can be thrown in that people who are in the know, and I don't necessarily know, but just know to look for it. And the basic point of this video is there's a lot of computing power available relatively inexpensively now. And so if you're looking to get into something like indie video game development, between cheap computing power and there's lots of free software like Godot is free, there's a lot of opportunity to get started very, very cheaply. Okay, I'm just going to show you here a quick picture. This is my Dell OptiPlex. I put little googly eyes on him. Sits nicely on my desk because it's a small form factor, and I'm really liking this machine. So stay tuned to the channel. You can see more of what I'm doing. May have some more videos about the computing stuff itself, as well as I'll have videos on game development. So I look forward to you. Subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.